Alright, hi everybody, Simon here, Projects in the Barn, and today we're coming at a new angle in the barn. You're over there, I'm over here. I'm just trying to clear a bit of room. My barn is such a mess at the moment. I need to employ my children to come down here and tidy it out for me, but that's never going to happen unless I start giving them large amounts of money. So right, where are we? It's been an age, I know, since we've been down here doing anything on any of my cars, but in particular on the Jaguar. So I've managed to nick a bit of time today. Not a lot of time, but we've got a bit of time today before we have to do the school run. We just come back from holiday. And as I said in one of my last videos, we've got a lot of stuff going on at the house with family and stuff like that at the moment, which I don't really need to get into, but it's just delaying my process of coming down here and making videos that I can put out to share with all you lovely people. But I thought while we got the opportunity today, it's dark and gloomy. It's only about, well, what's the time? 14:56. So it's nearly 3 o'clock, but it almost looks snowy out. It's pretty mad. But anyway, I've cleared some space on my bench. I've still got the remnants of my rear axle down here on the floor. So what I thought I would try and do, because it's leaked, it's right where I tipped it up previously to undo some of the nuts and bolts to get the springs off and all that sort of stuff. You've all seen that video. If you haven't, go and check out one of my last ones on the Jaguar XKR. I tipped the differential assembly up and that's where it stayed. And I've come down, it's leaked its oil out of somewhere, out of the differential. So it's a bit whiffy down here in the barn at the moment. So what I thought I'd try and do is to get some of the other parts from the differential off, get them up onto the bench, make it a bit easier, hopefully a bit easier to film. I can put some lights around it and we can just finish stripping off what's left. But before we do that, and before I get too dirty, I've got something to do with the brakes. Now, cast your mind back many months ago when I first started doing this, was taking all the rear brake assembly apart, and I've taken off all the calipers, discs, brake lines, etc, etc. Now I give the calipers to a friend of mine who cleaned them up in his glass cabinet at work, and to be fair, he's done a good job. And you would have seen me paint one of them down here, a beautiful yellow, which is going to look great against the black bodywork of the Jag. However, I've been in conversation with a company who, on the face of it, looks like they're going to be happy to refurbish those brakes for me. So clean them up properly, repaint all the brakes, new rubber seals on the pistons, etc, etc. So they're essentially brand new. So I've been in conversations with them. I don't want to give away too much at the moment until it's all been done and come through. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to box them up, get them ready to ship away, and then when all that's done and they come back to us, then we can have a good old conversation about that. But fingers crossed, that's going to be something I can share with you guys and somewhere where indeed you may be able to get your brakes refurbished too. So it's in its infancy at the moment, but the first thing I need to do is to box them up and get them sent out to the chap who's going to look at refurbishing them for me. So that's what we need to do. I'm looking over at my table. You keep seeing me looking over here. I'm thinking to myself, where have I put them? Because they're no longer on my table. I must have put them in the boot of the Jag. So anyway, I'm going to have a search for my brakes. While I do that, I'll put you on pause and then we'll come back and we'll show them down here, hopefully on the workbench. And as I thought, yes, they are in the boot of the Jag. So I've just brought the first couple over. So we'll collect all them up. We can get ready to box them up, send them away. 2, 3, 2 carriers. Carrier. was looking at myself thinking, where have I put the other ones? But of course it's the ones I've already painted. So we've got calipers, carriers. I think just for good measure, in case the chap may need them, I doubt it, but we'll include the original pistons. He might be able to reuse them, I don't know. So that's them down there. I'll just put you down so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So there we go. That's the calipers and the carriers that we started cleaning up. So yeah, I'm going to get them boxed up, then we can get on with the rest of the video. Okay, so that's them all boxed. Ready to go. So we'll move them out of the way. Hopefully we'll have some good news to report back on all of that. Right then, so on with the video. Let us come back up this way. In fact, what I'll do, I'll leave you down here, look, and then I'm going to put the diff, what's left of it, up on here, and then we can look at taking the last few bits off it. Right, let's see if I can grab these lower suspension arms and deal with these troublesome pins. Let's put this carbon on here just to protect my bench from oil, because I do carpentry down here and stuff like that. Let's make sure you can see that. Which you can. So let's get in a position where hopefully we can get a bit more light on it. So if you remember, these pins are pins and they should come out. And like I say, I had a couple of my subscribers that have been very, very kind, sent me through a lot of information and pictures of how they took theirs apart. So I really do appreciate that. You know who you are. And yeah, they just said I've got to be careful to clean them all up. So these are the last two things holding this sort of carrier to these lower suspension wishbones. Someone told me before what they were called. I can't remember exactly. It's been so long. It looked like a wishbone. We'll go with wishbone or lower suspension arm. So yeah, that's the pin that I need to get out. And these do allegedly come off. So we'll have a look, shall we? Let's see if we can get them off. What's that? 18, oh, it's going to be a 19, isn't it? And the 19 is currently probably over here. This is why I need to tidy up my workshop. I only had it the other day, taking a wheel off me, me Jag. All right, we'll go for a bigger one. 19. I'm gonna have to come across it another day. Now, I don't know what's going to happen here. That's tight. Like super duper tight. See, I just don't. I don't want to knock these through until they're cleaned up. So I just want to try and get these off. Holy moly. Or at least just try to, I'm trying to break the pin free to start it off. Well, I think we're just going to have to go through the task of trying to clean it up first. So I don't want to cause any damage to them, so it'll probably be expensive to replace. So if we try and clean them up best I can with the old wire brush. So I'll do that, I'll start cleaning that back. Again, you don't need to watch me doing that. We'll come back when I've given them a bit of a clean, and hopefully that will help us get these pins out. Back in a bit. Tell you what, I am really struggling. I've been cleaning it up with the old WD-40 wire brush. I've been knocking it. I've been moving it around, bending it up and down. Put the nuts back on. I've been trying to hammer it down. I've cleaned it up, and they are not budging. I mean, I'm not a weak man. And that is just not going anywhere. It's mad. Like I said, I've had the whole thing bent up on itself. I can move it, let's say, in its carrier, but the pin is stuck fast in that. Oh, I've had it on its end. I've lubed it right up. Stood it up like that. I've sprayed it here. I can see it penetrating and going through the bearing or the whatever it's pressed into, the bushing. Soaked it all down in here. Nothing I'm doing seems to be working. So it's a bit of a challenge. I promise I've read and listened to the information that's been passed so kindly on to me. But, I don't know. Maybe I'll try and put the two nuts on the end together to lock each other and try and twist it through that. I mean, once I've got it moving, I'm sure it will draw up off the pin. I just can't get it to break free. Cannot. Can't get it free. Maybe a bit of heat. Get a blowtorch on it but I don't have a blowtorch. I really don't know at this stage what else to try. That's heavy. Right, back to the drawing board. I need to have a think. Let's see how they come out, because I just don't know. I'll be back.